I had to be honest with myself. This was holding me back. A lot of times, like even the people around us, they might not want us to change for real. You cannot expect a different result by doing the same things. Welcome to the Chasing Genius podcast. My name is Crystal, and I'm your host for the #1 show for creatives in pursuit of their own creative geniuses. So I've been seeing the phrase, nothing changes if nothing changes, just floating around the internet. I've seen it on Twitter. I've seen it on Instagram. I've even seen it on YouTube. I decided to put my own personal spin on it, which is nothing changes until everything changes. Change can feel like such a drastic thing in our lives, and it's normal for us as humans to be adverse to change because change just means that we don't know, there's a fear of the unknown, there's loss of control, sometimes there's an attachment to the past or even the attachment to the future. We just don't like the idea of being uncomfortable. I mean, I don't know anyone who enjoys moving to a new place sometimes because you're scared of like the people you're going to live with or the environment you're going to be in, or even starting a new job. You have first day jitters, going to a new school, doing things that's different from the norm of what you're used to can often make us, want to go back into our shell and go back to what we know and to be comfortable with that. Change doesn't always have to be a bad thing. And I think change is important for us to be able to evolve and to develop in life. Nothing changes if nothing changes, or nothing changes until everything changes. To me, that means we're just tired of being sick and tired. We're tired of being in the same place. We're tired of being complacent. We're tired of being stagnant. We're just tired of our current situation. And sometimes like people on the internet are like, you got to take responsibility for your life. You have to take action. If you don't like something, you got to do something different. You can't expect different results by doing the same things. And I mean, I agree with that. We do to some extent have to take responsibility for our lives. And I think that can be a sensitive topic for some people because there are a lot of things that we weren't responsible for, like we don't choose the family we're born into. We don't choose the environments in which we grow up into. We don't choose the experiences that happen to us. But the one thing we can choose is how we react to it and what we do about that. Because even as much as those things, such as where we grew up, where we went to school, the experiences we have, as much as those things are not a direct reflection on who we are, we also still have unfair advantages and cards that are dealt that do support us. Like those experiences can make it easier for you to connect with certain people. That environment you grew up in could help you to be able to easily adapt to other environments like that. So a lot of the times when we look at our past and we get upset about it because it isn't a direct reflection of who we are, or we put the blame on that affecting where we are in life, being able to just see it for what it is. And in this present moment, there are choices that you can make that can put you in front of or put you ahead where you need to be at. And I think for me, like there are certain things that I can't change about myself, and there are experiences that I've had that I can't change about myself, or you can't change a lot of things, especially like the things we can't change, truth be told, is the past. We can't change the past. We can't change the habits that we've had. We can't change any of that. But what we can do is accept that and decide in this present moment that we can make the changes in order for our future selves and our future selves to be happy about the changes that we make. Like, I'll take, for example, like money. I think money is kind of a touchy subject, so I'm not going to dwell on it too much. But I'm a firm believer that if you can manage the little money that you have, once you start getting more money, it will be easier for you to manage because you've learned how to manage with just little. So that could be as like having a budget. I look at my budget and I'm like, oop, I spent too much money eating out. So that means in the upcoming months, I need to address that. And if I don't, then I'm always going to keep losing a lot of money from eating out every month because I'm refusing to change something that I know that I can change. That is in my power. I can't blame my past for me eating out all the time in today's day and age, right? Like the budget is not lying to me. The budget is telling me that I spent X amount of money eating out. So if I want to change that, then I'm going to have to do things that feel uncomfortable. It might be going more grocery store shopping, or cooking a bit more, or trying different recipes, things I might not necessarily be good at, but the more I do it, the better I'm going to get at that thing. So I think like as humans, like it's normal to want to be comfortable and to stay within our comfort zone, but the reality is that nothing happens within your comfort zone. There's nothing that comes from being in your comfort zone. And that's the first thing that you should do when you are aspiring or looking to change something, is challenge your comfort zone. I find it uncomfortable for myself. Like, I think my friends think I'm more extroverted than I actually am. But the reality is, I like to think I'm a very introverted extrovert, or extroverted introvert. The term is ambivert, to be honest. I see a little bit of myself in both. But before going out somewhere, be it like an art show or a conference or places where I'm going to be around people that I don't know, I get nervous, I get shy, I get timid. I notice that I tend to be a little bit more quiet when I'm in these spaces where I don't know somebody. But oftentimes, me trying to avoid going to those things, I won't be able to meet people. How am I going to be able to build my network or connect with people or meet like-minded creatives if I don't go to these things, right? So obviously leading up to that, I got to like prepare myself mentally to be able to be in this space, to be able to, set the intention of like, I want to meet people, I want to connect with people. And sometimes, I might only connect and talk to one person the entire time, or I might connect with a bunch of people and connect with them and talk to them a little bit throughout the time. But as long as I'm putting myself out there, I'm challenging my comfort zone of staying home and being a homebody, because truth be told, that is my innate nature. My innate nature is to just be a homebody and stay home. Like I could be alone, I live alone. So it's like I'm used to being by myself, but nothing happens if I'm just by myself all the time. There's no way for me to meet people. There's no way for me to connect with people if I'm always by myself. So I have to challenge that comfort zone, challenge it and see what comes of it, because that's where the magic happens. The magic happens from challenging your comfort zone. There is no perfect moment. The perfect moment is the one that you create. Opportunities don't happen when we stay in our comfort zone. Opportunities happen when we take the risk and put ourselves out there, and then all of a sudden, now the opportunity has presented itself. The second thing I could offer up is to develop a growth mindset. Mindset. Everything happens in our mind. How we see ourselves, how we think about ourselves, how we view the world, it's all in our mind. A little bit of it is in our heart, but a lot of it is in our mind. I mean, I'm an overthinker too, so I know I could live multiple lives. I could make multiple decisions all in my mind, because the mind is the most important thing to us. And a lot of the times our minds holds on to things that don't necessarily serve us. So like I had mentioned earlier, this attachment to our past selves or past experiences that indirectly affect how we view ourselves or how we view future experiences, it's all held in our mind. Memories. We have memories in our minds, right? So being able to look and understand, how can I transform my mind to be a bit more, not lax, but a bit more accepting, and being able to focus on the things that I can control. Being able to cultivate a space that doesn't see things as failures. Being able to cultivate a space that accepts things for what they are and takes them as lessons. There's a quote that says, I believe it's by Nelson Mandela, that says, I don't win or lose. I either win or learn. And that's exactly what a growth mindset is. is that, yeah, we have victories. We have little wins here and there. We have strong wins and big opportunities that happen to us, and we're like really, really excited about it. But when we take a L, it's an opportunity to learn. And L's, if you reframe your mind for what taking an L really means, instead of saying, oh, I lost this thing, or I really suck at this thing, look at it as an opportunity to grow, and look at it as an opportunity to evolve. One of my friends had told me a story about some guy, I don't know his name, but she had told me the story about some guy who kept telling himself that he couldn't read. He didn't know how to read. He was pretty slow at reading, or being able to like if they asked him to read in class, he would read so super slow. And he had difficulty with comprehension, reading and comprehension, which is something that actually plagues a lot of us in America. We have a hard time reading at a 4th grade reading level. I actually found out that if you don't know how to read by the 4th grade, the likelihood of you being illiterate is extremely high, because after that, you pretty much read to learn. So if you don't know how to read by then, you're going to struggle with school, and it leads to a whole bunch of stuff. Sorry, my public health is showing itself. But he was struggling with reading and comprehension. He kept telling himself, I suck at reading, I suck at comprehending, I'm dumb, I'm stupid, XYZ, XYZ, right? But then the moment he changed his mind to be like, nah, I can read and I can comprehend. It might take me longer than the next person to do that thing, but I can read. Like, I can do this. He was able to then start learning how to read, because he opened his mindset, and he opened himself up to the idea of being able to read. Negative talk has no room in a growth mindset. You either win or you learn. There is no room for you to talk down on yourself because you don't know how to do something, or because this change feels too big or too grandiose for you. That is what a growth mindset is. Even in the midst of change, even in the midst of being uncomfortable with change, accepting that change, you're not going to be perfect at it off rip. You have to be okay with not being good at something, and knowing that over time, this change is going to end up becoming the new norm, and now you can just keep evolving and stacking and compounding your wins on top of each other. And then the last thing is, you are not alone. What did Michael Jackson say? You are not alone. I'm here with you. And though you're far away, yup, I'm here to stay. All right, y'all, I can't really sing, so if you sat through that, I'm sorry. But what did Michael Jackson say? You are not alone. I can't lie. I have to admit that I struggle with asking for help. I struggle with asking for support. It feels so small, and it feels so simple and so easy to do. But we all feel like when it's time to change something about ourselves, we try to go on this whole journey of change and this whole journey of transformation, and we try to do it by ourselves. That's why we struggle with holding ourselves accountable. That's why we struggle with being able to stay inspired when it's a hard day, when it's a hard moment, is because we try to do all these things and try to change so much, and we try to do it by ourselves without building the necessary support foundation that we need. I would say you can build your support system amongst your friends. And I'll use myself as an example. I decided last year in October that I was going to be sober up until my birthday, and I'm not like a crazy drinker or anything like that, but I had made a personal decision that I didn't want to smoke weed and I didn't want to drink for an extended amount of time. I felt like it was holding me back. I didn't like how I would feel after a night of drinking. I didn't like how I would feel throughout the days when I would smoke a joint and feel lazy and unmotivated and uninspired. I didn't like that. And that was something that I wanted to change. I wanted to change that part of my life. When I first told people about it, they were like, nah, just wait till like January, because that's when people have New Year's resolutions. They're like, Thanksgiving is coming, Christmas is coming, it's about to be the holidays. You should just wait till December. And I was like, nah, like, why am I waiting till December to change something? If I want to change something, I need to start now so that by the time the next year comes, it would already be like ingrained in me. And I just hit 5 months of my sober journey. I still got a couple more months to go for my birthday in July. But when I had first told people about it, that was the reaction I got. And now it's completely 360. My friends are like, when we go out, they be like, oh, nah, she doesn't drink. And like, they don't even look my way when they, in their little cipher, they don't look my way at all. And that's because they've just accepted that this is something that I wanted to change. And it also gave me an opportunity to talk to them about why I wanted to do this thing. It makes it a lot stronger. I told them exactly why I wanted to do it, how long I wanted to do it for. And what's insane to me is I've gotten 2 people on the bandwagon. I've gotten one of my closest friends to also go sober up until her birthday in May. And I actually got a homie at the gym whose birthday is in July. And he just told me earlier today that he was going to embark on the journey with me. And he started over the weekend. And it's like, you don't even know the people you're inspiring, even within your circle of friends, who see you changing and are like, yo, I want that for myself as well. Right? And even if you don't have that kind of circle of friends, you have people who are negative Nancy or who don't want you to thrive and to prosper, you can always go online and find people, be it TikTok, be it YouTube, be it Twitter. You can always find people. I'm here to support you. Like, whatever it is you want to change about yourself or about your life or about your overall trajectory, I'm here. I'm offering my support because I just want everyone to be 1% better than every day. We're only 1% better every day. Over the course of a year, all of that compounds, But the truth is, nothing changes until everything changes, until your mind changes, until your heart changes, until your worldview on how you look out on life. None of that matters if you don't change the core things and the habits that are holding you back. You got to have an honest conversation because we all know what's holding us back. I told you mine. That was holding me back. Yes, there are people who could function doing that and who are thriving and like are living their best lives, being able to juggle drinking, smoking, all of this other stuff in their life. And it's not preventing them. It's not offering nothing negative to their life, right? But I had to be honest with myself. This was holding me back. If I wasn't doing the things, since then, I save more money. I'm finding more time in my day to do things like record a podcast, edit a video, connect with friends, network, go to networking events. And I'm also kind of noticing, this is kind of going off topic now, but I'm even noticing having less social anxiety from doing all those things. And it's forcing me to have genuine conversations without having to be under the influence. So all that to say is that nothing, you cannot expect a different result by doing the same things. You are not going to manifest your way into change. It requires you to do actionable things, to take steps that lead to the desired change, to the desired goal, to the desired outcome that you want for yourself. Because at the end of the day, we're human beings, we're evolving. Change is inevitable. It is inevitable. Things will change. I mean, the world is ending. The world that I knew growing up as a kid is not the world, that is the same. Even the economy is changing. The president's changed. Some states are going underwater every day. Change is inevitable. So you might as well work with it and choose a change that you want to see in your life and not let the change be a direct reflection on the world around us. You want the change to be a direct reflection of your internal state of mind. Thank y'all so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned something. If you like it, please leave a comment, a like, a subscribe, share the show with friends and family, and I will see you in the next one. And remember, the genius in me sees the genius in you, and I'm always, always rooting for you. Peace.